good evening, and pull your chair a little closer to the fire. Tonight on Campfire Stories, I've got one that's mostly true, which is worse than fiction if you ask me. They call him the Mad Trapper of Rat River, and in the winter of 1931 to 32 he became the ghost of the whole Northwest Territories.
Mostly true. That's your favorite kind of true, Marty. The kind you can't check.
Oh, you can check this one, dear. It's in the records, in the newspapers, in the graves. A silent stranger came out of nowhere and built himself a little cabin, low and squat, on the bank of the Rat River. Told a couple of folks his name was Albert Johnson, and after that he told them nothing at all.
Albert Johnson. Not exactly a name that stops a room, is it?
That's the thing, Carol. It was too plain. Nobody ever proved it was his. He kept to himself, spoke maybe 10 words a season, and had money he never explained. Then the trappers upriver started complaining that somebody was springing their trap lines, tripping the snares, leaving them empty.
And they figured it was the quiet fellow who talks to no one. Shocking detective work.
The Mounties rode out to ask him about it, just to ask, mind you. He wouldn't open the door. Wouldn't even come to the window. So they went back for a warrant, days of hard travel, and returned to that little cabin in the dark and the cold.
Let me guess. He still didn't want company.
When they knocked the second time, he answered with a rifle. Fired straight through the door and dropped a constable where he stood. The man lived, thank God, but now it wasn't a dispute over traps anymore. Now it was a manhunt in the dead of an Arctic winter.
All right, that got quieter around the fire. Even, I'll give you that.
They came back with more men and dynamite, and blew the roof half off that cabin, and when the smoke cleared they were sure they'd find him finished. Instead, he came up out of a pit he'd dug in the floor, shooting, holding off a whole party of armed men through the night before slipping away into the black.
A pit in the floor. So he'd been ready. He knew they were coming back.
He knew everything, Carol. That's what haunts me. He fled on foot, no dogs, no sled, into temperatures that would freeze a lung, and for over a month he outran the largest manhunt those lands had ever seen. Wireless radios, bush planes, the best trackers in the north, and one silent man on snowshoes made fools of all of them.
On foot. In that cold. Alone. That part I actually can't explain away, and it's bothering me.
It bothered them too. He climbed a mountain pass in a blizzard that the trackers swore no living man could cross. Went right up and over the Richardson Mountains with a storm at his back, and came down the far side like a shadow that had learned to walk. Think on it, Carol. A man that hard, that silent, that ready for a war in the wilderness. That is not a fellow who wandered up from nowhere by accident.
So who was he, then? You've been circling it this whole time. Out with it?
That's the cliffhanger, dear, and it's a real one. In February, they finally cornered him on the ice of the Eagle River, and in the gunfight that followed, he was shot dead at last. And when they finally got to see the face of the man who terrorized the North all winter, they realized they were looking at a total stranger.
What do you mean, a stranger? They'd been chasing him for weeks.
I mean, nobody knew him. Not one soul in that country could say who he was. His fingerprints matched no records anywhere. His teeth had dental work no one could trace. And here's the part that keeps me up. Almost 100 years later, they dug him up and ran modern DNA on those old bones, and it still came back to no one. No name, no family, no country. Nothing.
Nothing. You're telling me all the science we've got and the man just isn't in it?
He isn't anywhere, Carol. To this day, that grave in the north holds a stranger who fought an entire winter army and never once told a living person his true name. Whoever Albert Johnson really was, he took it under the ice with him, and he has never given it back.
Well, good night, everyone. And if a quiet man builds a cabin next to yours this winter, Marty, you can go ask him his name yourself.
Good night, all. Sleep warm. And keep your door latched.